Welcome back, everyone, to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 3 setup round of Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. We're just doing a quick resetup of the saved game, and we are going to jump into round number 1. We'll do a little recap of Season 2, where we did Chapter 1, and then we'll kick off Chapter 2, Day 1. Thanks for watching. Okay, so that was our quick reset up of the board for Chapter 2, and we will dive into the rest of the setup. Before we do, a quick shout out to this channel's sponsor, Pontos Fathom Press. We've got our bookstore in which we support our channel, Cat 2 Journals Out of Lovecraft's Providence Omnibus Edition. It's a massive hardcover for companion to your Lovecraft books, and featuring 6 volumes, one of which is the Giuseppe Balsamo Necromancy of Nyarlathotep. We've also got books like Alchemy and Anthroposophy and the Dune Saga, insight into why Frank Herbert's Dune Saga is such a compelling saga, why we like it, and some of those influences behind it. And then finally, on our other podcast channel, we're collecting some of those podcasts, and you could go to that podcast channel and actually listen to content from these books. Books not your thing, you can always go to our Patreon for as little as $1. You can keep abreast of our upcoming Tainted Grail gameplay, our miniature painting. We've got a Monsters of Avalon paint through there. I'll probably be using some of those minis in this Chapter 2. We'll also be doing miniature painting and gameplay of A Song of Ice and Fire and Joan of Arc, so go over and check us out there. And lastly, thanks to our subscribers, our Patreons, new subscribers, leave a comment down below, ring the bell to get notified when we have upcoming new games, and let's jump into continuing this setup round. So Chapter 1, we ended up our men here in the main village, Knacht Farmhold, his light is out, but our 2 adventurers, Bayor and Maggot, here's our minis here, Bayor and Maggot, were able to go and spawn a new men here, Awakening him. This is the second men here. You can check out this mini here. Let me show you both of the men here just to show off. I went with this sort of standard painting with the candles, the dimming light. So we've got these men here. So now we're in the 4 Dweller Mounds. We're also playing with the Echoes of the Past. So I thought maybe we'd recap a couple things that we learned in Chapter 1, and then we'll get right into it. So first off, we've got Maggot has got the Adventurer's Log and the Menhir Rites, which allows us to, 1, ignore the effects of heavy rainfall and unnatural chill, but also ability to activate the Menhirs. So that's some secrets that we've got, some items. Bayor also has the Old Steel Smasher and the Masterwork Armor. One of the things that evaded us is we were trying to activate this men here, but we needed something called the Stone Shaper's Tools. We weren't able to find that in time. We also were able to collect a number of statuses. Burning Mystery Part 2, Dreams and Prophecies Part 5, Fate of the Expedition 1 and 6. One of those things, the Fate of the Expedition, we did get some clues, and if we check out the map here, that some of the expedition moved up to Timberwall. We also had some direction to go to Camelot. So now we're here in this area, I'd say. We've explored this area. We're in the Hunter's Grove is here. We've gone off to the 4 Dweller area, and we're going to continue on that mission. We've also got Hunter's Mark, Morning Song Part 1, Riddle of Old Steel, Scrounger, and anything different between, I think we've got them both collectively. So we've got those. We haven't unlocked any of the special Echoes of the Past yet, but we do have tracked on the character sheet. Maggot won a diplomatic encounter, and Bayor, which is going toward his Mystic Gate card, and Bayor has 1 and 1 for Inspired Crafting and Second Wind. Just maybe a quick recap of those. Bayor's Memory 2. he has a memory of his sister being taken away. He's never seen her since then, during the starving times. His mother went out with her and she never came back. And then there was memory 7, where he learned about the riddle of old steel. So those are a couple of notes. And then for Maggot's memory, as a sort of a druidic renegade, let's call it, or apostate. He goes, he left the encounter with head spinning. These long years living as an outcast has given him a certain temperament. So Maggot kind of has like a realization that in his memories, even though he's been an outcast of the druids, it's taught him to be fast on his feet. Even though he's a slow, kind of a dullard kind of character, he does have an inner quickness now, an inner awareness that they've sort of shared with us. So those are those. We also did learn a couple of other facts along the way. One thing, if we go to Beor's letter, Lord Yavin was who gathered the 5 strongest, wisest people of Connacht. We had learned that he had died in one of the reveals on the journey. And we've also run into a couple places where Maggot's past in the Maggot's past as a druid has come into play. But also this line here from Maggot says, Arthur, the first of the knights, subdued this realm inch by inch. With his knights and his armies, he took the Grail from the Four-Dwellers and used it to bring seasons and cycles to our world in this godless place. So those are some of the backstory notes we've accumulated. We haven't unlocked the advanced ability, but I've got them here. These are the cards for those advanced abilities from the Book of Memories and the Memory Stories. Now let's go to setting up our Chapter 2. So at the end of Chapter 1, so congratulations, you've completed your first chapter. We've each gotten experience and magic. Each character gains 1 free combat deck advancement. So it says see the combat advancement section of the rule book. So combat advancement and character advancement. Character advancement. Okay, so it says advancing a character. Pay 2 experience and take 3 cards from the top of your advancement pool. Pick one of them to add to your deck and shuffle the remaining 2. So your combat deck should always contain at least 15 cards. So let's see what our combat decks have right now. Okay, so we can get some advancement cards from... We can shuffle these back in, I suppose. So we can shuffle these back in, which I'll take care of later. And we'll grab some of those advancement cards off the top. Next up, I will get those set up. Next up, after the advancement setup, it says to discard your event deck, place any remaining random event cards back in the random events deck. So we'll shuffle up our random events deck, and it says draw a Chapter 2 setup card and follow its instructions to begin the next chapter. So here we are, we're in Season 3, which is going to be focusing on Chapter 2. Let's, starting out in Chapter 2, let's call it like that. Let's look at our Chapter 2 Part 1 event card. It says, Further from Home. Place this card on top of the active quest pile. The island opens up before you with its countless trails and possibilities. As you walk, you realize it's been a long time since you wandered this far from home. What should you do now? Place 1 random event on the top of the deck. Okay. Quest. Complete one of the following. Investigate the fate of the first expedition, finding its trail in the west. Reach Camelot in the east. Or explore the island and find a different way to progress the story. I'll reach Camelot. That seems far. How many of these? Chapter 2, 3. Just 3 parts here. Okay, so let's go and try. I think. Well, since we're already over here, we can go to the east and finding its trail in the west. Right. So maybe we can do that one. Because 190 seems far away, actually. So. But we can start working on that. Let's see if we can do it. Let's go to the east first and find out about the party. And then we can make our way back and do that other adventure. So I'm going to move all of these over a bit. And we'll plan to be moving that way. So also because this men here is active here, I think I can place cards here and here to show his activations here, right? So this is the active men here. I can put cards around him. So this is going to be 116 and 112. So let's get 115, no, 116. 112 and 116. So we've got the Bloodied Glen, and we've got Farshire. So we've got Farshire and the Bloodied Glen. Those are some options for us when we start round one. So we'll leave those there for us. And that's going to wrap it up for our Chapter 2 setup round. So we'll see you guys over in turn one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.